possible phone of the year for 2024. I put this video out last week and said I think we've found the phone of the year for 2024 already. And I know that's a bold statement because we really have only got one flagship phone in the Xiaomi 14 that's been launched for 2014. We're about to get the S24 Ultra here in about just over a week. But phone of the year also includes price, right? Value. What do you get? What are you getting for your money? And when I saw these specs, when I saw this device and how much it and the rumored price it was going to go for, because I'm familiar with the R series. If you're not familiar, OnePlus 12 is their flagship device. The R series is their watered down version, kind of like the Pixel 8, and then the Pixel 8a or Pixel 7a. It'll look similar to the flagship, to its big brother, except it's got a little watered down specs. Now, I hate to say watered down specs with this OnePlus device. Now, this R series is the very first time they're releasing it in the United States. It's traditionally always been a Chinese-only market for the R series. And I think OnePlus was a no-brainer to release this in the United States, because at this price that we just found out how much it's going to cost, it's a no-brainer because it's a flagship device, literally half the cost. And we got very first images. So it looks very similar to its bigger brother, the OnePlus 12. Now, the OnePlus 12 is going to have flagship specs. It's going to have the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. It's going to have UFS 4.1 storage, I believe. It's spec'd out. OnePlus, if you know OnePlus, they've always spec'd out their flagship devices. Always. And hang on. So this is the OnePlus 12R. It's nearly identical to the OnePlus 12. Now, what's different? The sensors are different, right? It'll have a last year's sensor for the camera. It'll also have it'll also have 2023's flagship processor, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. Jesus Christ, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, which is still a fabulous processor. The S23 Ultra runs on the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, and it's awesome. I don't have any issues with it. It's fast, battery life's good. So it's not like this has a cheap processor. It's not like it has a mid-range processor. It has flagship specs at mid-range prices. It will be known globally as the OnePlus Ace 3, but here in America and the US, it's going to be OnePlus 12R. And guess where we got the pictures from? The FCC. If you watched our last episode, the FCC is where I get a lot of my leaks from. It has to be certified through the FCC before any electronic device can be sold here in the United States. And the FCC just certified it, just passed it. So it's literally right around the corner. It's going to be a nice big display, AMOLED. Let's get into the specs and the price. So it's going to have a huge 5,500 milliamp per hour battery. It's going to arrive on January 23rd. That's the global launch. So I'm assuming they're going to sell this on their website, and I'm assuming they're going to sell this on Amazon. OnePlus does have a lot of their devices on Amazon. Now, what I don't know is if T-Mobile is going to carry this. I've been looking into it, and I don't have any answers. I'm not sure how I feel about... No, I take that back. I don't like OnePlus with T-Mobile because T-Mobile only carries the base model, which has traditionally been 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage. There is no storage upgrade variant if you get this OnePlus device, at T-Mobile. So I've kind of been hoping they would split. Look, it was crucial for OnePlus to team up with T-Mobile for the OnePlus 6 back, 6 years ago, it was crucial to insert that OnePlus name and the brand into the United States market. But look, they've been around for a little while and put out some decent devices. So I think now is the time, especially if you're going to sell them on Amazon, where you can have them delivered the very next day. And a big advantage for getting them at T-Mobile is you could get them financed and only pay $30 a month, right? But you can get financing with through numerous outlets on Amazon. So I mean, you can basically do the same thing, and you'll get an unlocked model. I hate carrier phones because they're locked to the carrier for at least 2 years, right? This one, it will have the base model is going to have 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage. Now look at this price. $499. That's the same price as the A series, the Pixel 7a, and the upcoming Pixel 8a. And this blows the Pixel A series out of the water. Now you'll say, well, that's the same specs, 8 gigs and 128 as the Pixel 8. True. I mean, Pixel 8a or upcoming 8a or 7a. That's true. But everything else in the internals is far better. And you can get an upgraded version. Check this out. You can get a 16 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage, $599. Now that's a little more than I was hoping. I was expecting it to come in at $499, and then the upgraded storage variant at $549. But look, that's pushing it, right? I mean, but that's still a flagship device at relatively cheaper price. So it'll have the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. It'll feature a 6.78 inch 1.5K LTPO AMOLED display with a refresh rate of 120 Hz. And check this out. Max brightness at 4500 nits. That is blindingly bright. What does my Pixel get? 20. I think it's just 2000 nits, which was one of the brightest displays ever released. Now the S24 Ultra is supposed to have like a what is it supposed to have? I don't know, but it's supposed to be in the, I think, 2000 range. 4500 nits, that'll blind. It's like looking at the sun. But compare these to the A series for the Pixel, right? Pixel has a smaller screen. I think it was 6.4, the A series. They only have a 1080p AMOLED on the Pixel A series. It almost has a 2K screen, LTPO, which is great on battery life. A refresh rate of 120. The A series for the Pixel is only 90. So it just blows the specs out of the water with the A series. So the only thing the Pixel A series has to brag about over this OnePlus 12R would be the camera. Now, I'm not saying these cameras suck on the OnePlus 12R, but Pixel will have a better camera, right? Better quality. 50 megapixel main camera. So if you're not familiar with the Sony IMX890, it's the same cameras that the Nothing Phone 2 have in them. 50 megapixels, 50 megapixel Sony IMX890. So they're putting a 1.5 old camera sensor in there. Look, to obviously cut down on the price. However, another way to look at it is these are finely tuned. These got on this Nothing Phone 2, as I mentioned earlier, with every update, the quality of these samples got better and better and better. So it's a really fine-tuned sensor. Same thing with the processor, Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. It's at the point where these developers for OnePlus, or even Nothing, know how to fine-tune the kernels, how to fine-tune everything in the processor to get the maximum performance and the best battery life. So sometimes it's good having a situation like this where it's not that much of a drop-off, honestly. And it'll have 100-watt charging, so which will basically charge it from 0 to 100, probably 30 minutes, right? So Badass phone. I'm gonna try to get one of these. I'm not sure what color they have them in. I think we looked at them. I think there's a green one that we like, but I'm gonna try to get one of these.